Hey parents, I'm Sarah. I'm a lactation counselor. Every Monday I have some self-care parenting tips, or on the alternate weeks I have some infant feeding support tips for the babies. Today I'm going to talk about the mental load and some tricks for you parents, self-care stuff. Before I begin, please share with any parents who need some tender love and care. And also, I wanted to remind you that I offer infant feeding / breastfeeding classes via Zoom. You can sign up when you're around 8 months pregnant. Just get my information and email me in the description below. Okay. All right, the mental load. What is that? So, I got a lot of information from Robin Miller. She runs the Mental Load Project. You can follow her on Instagram, and everything I cite and reference will be in the description below as well on my YouTube channel video. Okay, an example of the mental load is my mental load means sacrificing the present by thinking and planning for the future. Or my mental load means I'm the only one who remembers to buy soap and refill the soap dispensers. Or my mental load means knowing that asking for help comes with conditions. I'm constantly thinking ahead before asking so I can decide if now is more crucial than later. Or my mental load means cooking with my kids and having them be helpers, whereas when my partner is cooking, I watch the kids. My mental load means never getting a break because I have to be on call even when I'm not home. If you are the partner who's benefiting from your other partner having a huge mental load, you might be constantly asking, what are we getting my parents for Christmas, when your partner already got them something a week ago? Or you might be constantly asking, is there milk in the fridge, when you should just know if there's milk in the fridge. Or what size pull-ups does Sally wear? What are we doing this weekend, when your other partner has made all the plans and organized everything? What is your kid's doctor's name, when your partner has always set up doctor's appointments and always taken the kid to the doctor? And generally it's the woman who carries the mental load, especially after children are born, when it comes to domestic chores. So I'm just going to talk about mental load in respect to domestic responsibilities. There's mental load with trans people. They have to think, will I be able to use the bathroom? What should I wear? Who will be there? How should I talk? That's a mental load a trans person carries, because their reality is they are in danger when they go out, and they have to be careful and unfortunately have that mental load constantly. So there's many different strains of the mental load, but today specifically I'm talking about parenting and domestic responsibilities. So it's not always in a heterosexual couple, it's not always the man who's falling short and the woman who's carrying the mental load. I know in my experience, I've been guilty of my partner, who is a man, always carrying the mental load of at least domestic responsibilities. I'm the one who calls and say, what's my daughter's pull-up size? And he's the one who's constantly filling up the soap dispenser. So I used real life examples based on my experiences and me falling short in that area. So there's this thing called Choreplay that some therapists use. Before you had kids, you probably did foreplay to get in the mood for sexy time. So this is not why we help around the house so we get sexy time with our partner, but chore play is watching your partner do all the things and contribute to the household that they live in too, without being asked 1,000 times, and it's pretty sexy. Okay? So Choreplay it up, people. If you're falling short, something, I'm going to reference a few books. Right, so this is Fair Play by Eve Rodsky. She shares the example of, yeah, my husband made dinner. Sure, making dinner is the task, but what went into before dinner was made? Who planned the meal? Who went and picked up the groceries? All the behind the scenes before dinner was on the table. So making dinner might have been the easiest task. When someone had to plan, write it out, budget, go to the grocery store, pick out all the groceries, bring them back, put them away. That's a lot harder than making dinner. She gives that example, but she gives there's a game at the end of this book with cards, where the mental load cards, and you see how imbalanced the mental load is in your relationship. And then you can negotiate and navigate with your partner and say, hey, who's in charge of this, who's in charge of this, and make it more sustainable for your relationship, healthier, so you're not resenting your partner because you're doing everything. So this is a solution to help you have more time and free up some mental space for your mental load. What was I going to say about that? If you are automatically, what happens a lot in a relationship, generally it falls on the mom or the woman, if there's not a very clear, you're in charge of this and I'm in charge of that. If in your relationship, no one ever talks about who's in charge of taking out the trash, doing the dishes, birthday cards, planning birthday parties, buying the birthday gift, buying the Christmas presents, planning the party, what's going on in the weekend, swimming lessons, doctor's appointments, the list goes on, then that naturally and automatically usually falls on the woman. So it's important to talk about who's in charge of what. So that can help. Another really good comic book is called The Mental Load by Emma. She's actually French, and everything is, it's translated into English, but very applicable to the U.S. Every single issue in here is going on in the U.S. as well. But there's a really good article in here, and I will link the article in a blog post that she wrote, so you don't have to actually buy the book, but it's called You Should Have Asked. You should have asked. Oh, honey, you're all frustrated and you just blew up. Why didn't you ask for help? And it goes into why that's a problem, to always have to ask someone that's your equal and your teammate who lives with you. Cool, huh? Are you all intrigued? I hope this is helpful. So I guess this week, think about, if you are not a single parent, think about what you want to talk to your partner about and say, hey, you need to be in charge of this and this and this. And read this article that I'll post below in the description. You should have asked together and talk about it. Hopefully it sparks some conflict and then some conflict resolution. Okay? I hope you have a happy Monday. Deep breaths. Till next time. Bye!